Hey everybody, so I am here to let you know what's going on. I had, my mascara. Sorry. Okay, I'm going to stop messing with my face. So I had recorded a Foster Friday for you guys, but I recorded it onto Windows Movie Maker because I knew I was going to have some things I would want to edit, and the girls were playing outside and they were kind of coming in and out. So I knew there was going to be some stuff I would want to edit out, which I couldn't with uploading directly to YouTube. But as I've said in my last few videos, I've had Windows Movie Maker issues, and I was hoping it was fixed, but it's definitely not. It actually totally crashed my computer earlier after I recorded it. So I'm just going to give you an IVF update because I have an IVF update now, and then I will probably upload a Foster Friday on possibly Monday to kind of make up for not having one today. I'm going to try and record it on my laptop. Anyway, so let's go back to how this cycle has played out. I started meds, I don't remember. I started meds, I did my trigger on the 2nd at 12:30 in the morning, and then I had my retrieval on the 3rd at about 11 in the morning, and then on Thursday the 6th, 3 days past retrieval, we put 2 embryos back in, and we were told that our embryos were not great quality. None of them were. Many of them were all of them were fragmenting and just not very strong. So we had 9 left to watch over. None of them made it to freeze, and we got that call on Monday or Tuesday, the 10th or 11th of February. So during my 2-week wait, I actually had a really good 2-week wait. I listened to my hypnosis. About a week after retrieval, I started doing some walks, but it was just 1 or 2 blocks at most. I was keeping it really light. I was not about to do anything that would put our IVF cycle in danger. So I wasn't lifting the girls, I wasn't doing any heavy exercise, I was eating a lot of avocado and drinking a lot of palm juice. I could not stomach Brazil nuts or pineapple. I tried really hard. Actually, I didn't try with pineapple because I have been taking baby aspirin. So if you're taking baby aspirin, you should not be eating the pineapple. But I did try with the Brazil nuts, and I couldn't do it. It tasted like soap to me. I just couldn't do it. I kept myself on full pelvic rest, everything. Kept socks on all the time. And I didn't test. I did really good. I didn't symptom spot. I figured out what times to take my progesterone, and for the most part, I was pretty much dead on with the times to take my progesterone. So, Monday the 17th was my first beta. If you see me looking down, it's because my calendar app is right there, so I'm, looking on my calendar. On the 17th, I went in for my beta. They had neglected to tell me that because it was Veterans Day, their lab was only going to be open for half an hour. They were open from 8 to 8:30. And as I said in my video on Tuesday or whatever it was, that was, of course, the one day that the girls really were just like sleeping in, and I really needed to go, but we got out of the house late. So I didn't get over there until like 10:15 or 10:30. They were closed. I went upstairs. They told me to go over to the hospital. Went over to the hospital. It took me forever, and finally at like between 11 and 11:15, I finally left. So I waited and waited for that phone call on Monday, and it didn't come. And then on Tuesday at like 3, I finally called and I said, look, I'm just wondering what I should do. I'm assuming it's over. I was convinced. All my at-home tests were totally negative. I was convinced it was over. So I actually went to the gym on Monday night, and I had some fun with my husband on Monday night, and you know, I didn't really worry about it much because I was convinced it was over. So on Tuesday at 3, I called them and I was just like, I just need to know whether I should be taking my progesterone and if I should come in for a repeat beta and what's going on. So they hadn't even run the sample yet, and she goes, well, it's because it was taken over at the hospital. I'm like, I don't care. This is kind of time sensitive and you guys need to be on it. Okay? IVF patients are not exactly known for being the most patient and understanding with not getting back on numbers, because, you know, it's all completely time sensitive. So I just kind of said, well, you know, I'd really like those, like, within the hour would be great. So she called back in half an hour. My number was 7.4. So she said, you know, it's very, very low. It could be a biochemical pregnancy, which obviously I knew. But to keep taking the progesterone and redraw on Wednesday. So on Wednesday I went and did a redraw beta, kept on my progesterone. Wednesday at 3 I called them because I had been bleeding since Tuesday. So Monday afternoon, evening, I had already started to spot. Right before I went to the gym, I started to spot, which I figured was AF coming. By Monday evening, later in the evening, I started lightly bleeding. Tuesday, I was lightly bleeding in the morning, and it picked up through the day. Wednesday, I was bleeding through the day, and Tuesday night and Wednesday was worse than my normal AF. Not dramatically worse, and I knew that progesterone could irritate cervix, and that some people spot anyway, and all this other stuff. So at 3 o'clock I called them and I said, I really want my beta because all of this is going on. I want to know if I should keep on my progesterone or if I should stop it or what's going on. And she said, well, your numbers went up to 12.1, so doubling time of 60 hours, which is right in the middle of normal range. So keep on your progesterone and redraw on Monday so we really know what's going to happen, whether it's going to progress or whether it's going to stop. I said, okay. So I took another test that day, and it got darker. No. Is it Wednesday? It was Wednesday, I think, that I took a Wanfo, and yeah, Wednesday. I did, you can't see it on this, but I did get a light line on the Wanfo on Wednesday. On Thursday, I took another Wanfo, and you might actually be able to see this line. I'm not sure because the lighting sucks, but I have a video where you can actually see it. But this line was darker on Thursday, so it gave me a little bit of hope. And I did take a digital with the conception indicator, and it said pregnant 1 to 2, which surprised me because my numbers were only at, you know, like maybe 13 by that time. So I took the conception indicator one on Wednesday night, and it was positive. And then on Thursday, my line on the Wanfo got darker. I had decided to take a Wanfo in the mornings so that I kind of would have an idea what was going to happen before Monday. And this morning when I woke up, I took one, and it was basically gone. There is a teeny tiny hint of a smidgen of a line, but it's one of those where you have to have like your line goggles on because it's ridiculously light. I wouldn't even consider that positive if I had seen it at first. So it's definitely done. It's over. So I called the clinic today and I said, you know, if my at-home tests are back to completely negative. I had a lot of bleeding. I had quite a few clots. There were actually a couple times where I was looking at the clots, and just the way it was colored, it wasn't totally bright red. There was bright red with like a pinkish gray mixed in, and those points I was looking at it going, I'm about to plop my baby in the toilet. So I kind of knew that was it. I was hoping, because my line had gotten darker, that it wasn't, but I kind of knew that was it, especially with the way the coloration of those clots were. It was fairly obvious. So they just called me back and said, you know, start on your birth control and then we'll go for this round, and they'll call you back on Monday with a plan, because the doctor wasn't in today. And I said, actually, we have to take this cycle off because we're taking a trip in the second week of March, and if I started meds now, that would be the middle to the end of that week in March would be retrieval time, and we can't exactly just keep me on meds. So she said, okay, you know, have a good cycle, have a good trip, take a nice break, and then on cycle day 1, give us a call and we will have your protocol ready. So that's where we're at. It's over. Not exactly how I wanted to tell my husband. I had to end up texting him because of how everything went down. I was going to have this cute way to tell him if we were pregnant, but then with the way everything went down on Monday, that didn't happen. So then it was like, well, okay, do you want me to wait until you get home whenever I get information on anything, or do you want me to just text you right away? And he said, you know, no matter what it is, just text me throughout the day and let me know what's going on if anything changes. So I texted him earlier, and that stunk, and letting the girls watch a show while I record this before we do some more schoolwork. But I kept myself on bed rest through most of Wednesday and all of Thursday. I got up very minimally. I did whatever I could. I ate a ton of avocado, drank a ton of palm juice in the last few days. So, you know, the only thing that I really think that might have affected it at all was being with my husband on Monday night and having gone to the gym on Monday. But realistically, with the numbers the way they were, I think if it affected anything at all, the only way it did was that it made things move along quicker. So I honestly think that with the way the numbers were, knowing what we know about our embryos, that it would have ended. So it also makes me wonder, besides the once that I got a digital positive with my husband, if I've ever truly been pregnant with him. I can't say anything about the one other pregnancy that I've had, but it makes me wonder if I've ever been really pregnant at all, except that once that I got a digital. So because I've never had a pregnancy truly confirmed by beta numbers, or except that once by a digital pregnancy test, it makes me wonder if I've ever really been pregnant except for that once. Just knowing, it makes me suspect whether my egg quality is not very good, and I don't know, there's a lot of things that it kind of brings up, but I'm trying to just keep it really lighthearted and together for the girls, because obviously they don't know. You know, once things were looking good, we were going to tell them at that point, but I did not want to tell them at this point, you know, that there was, since they're right there in mommy's tummy, and get them excited and then tell them no, there's not. So that's kind of where we're at. I'm sorry this video is so long and whatever. So yeah, that's what's going on. No repeat beta on Monday. My cycle has ended / started. I am going to enjoy myself in Disneyland and go on every ride because I can, and try not to be too sad. I'm gonna give myself probably today and tomorrow, but not around the girls. I refuse to let this affect them. So I mean, if it was farther along, that would obviously be something different, but at this point, I'm not going to let this be something that affects them. So I'm going to stop rambling now, and I will let you go on with your day. Sorry for the influx of super long videos lately, and I will try to make them shorter in the future, especially since I will hopefully have my Windows Movie Maker back. I will talk to you guys later.